So you will find that on Sunday at the final performance, when they all get up on stage, there is a piece of music that they all play together. So you have a wonderful cacophony of the steel pan, brass, woodwind, percussion, and singing of Dame Lorraine. Yes? So it's going to be very interesting. At the same time, they're the regular pop songs. But in order to keep their interest, they're actually singing Waka Waka.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Ooh, wonderful.
Oh,
yes.
we had to contend with changing that curriculum a little bit.
Okay.
And with some very heavy African rhythms. Because we've got this program, I don't know, I really do believe it is blessed. We have these amazing people that came out to teach these children.
And it's all voluntary services, or?
No, they are given a stipend because, I mean, they do have to travel and they do have to eat.
Right.
Yeah, so at the trust we take those things into consideration. But we've got 5 members of the police band who came out. You come out every day, you know, to come into this challenged area and to just teach them. So now we've got 2 beautiful young ladies playing the French horn. You know, I mean,
I'm just thinking that these members of the police band are such a wonderful ambassadors for the police service, particularly dealing with youth coming from what is described as a tough neighborhood. They're at that vulnerable, impressionable age.
Yes.
Wow, that is fantastic.
Yes, and as a matter of fact, the children don't even know that these are policemen. And they're just, they adore them. Now, let's see if they were to put on a uniform and come in, you know, whether that would change. I doubt it. I doubt it, because the kinds of relationships that have been built up over the 3-week period, it is something that you say, how could it really end? You don't want it to.
Now, Jenny, I wanted to ask you about that, a 3-week period. Let's talk a little bit about the program. You go in after school hours and you teach these kids. Explain it to me how it works.
That is, the big picture is to create an after-school program where children will go in from the time school finishes at 2:30. You have your little clarinet or your flute or your saxophone or whatever, and you go into a music program. I mean, the trust, what we'd like to do is give every child their music, give them the musical instrument so they can take it home and practice with it. And who knows, maybe have a City Angels Orchestra at the end of it. But what we're aiming at, the first phase is let's do it. Let's do the 3-week program. Let's see what happens. Let's test out our music theory, the methodology that we're using to teach them. Let's do the research. Let's figure out what is it about this program that's really going to tick. What works, what doesn't. In September, the school is now graciously accepted that every Saturday morning we are invited back, as it were. So we're moving towards sustainability of the project. It's going to start every Saturday morning. Then again, in the vacation period, we'll go into the, you know, the massive camp, as it were, and hopefully by the following academic year, we'll be looking at the sustainability of after school every single day.
Hamza Khan, in your interaction with the youngsters, tell us, how have their dreams changed? Are they starting to think in terms of, I know what I want to do when I grow up? And has being involved in this camp changed, you know, their perception of what their destiny could be?
Well, it's interesting that you could ask such a question. Part of the research of the project, as Jen said, the project is not just about going in a camp, learning an instrument, going home after the camp and forgetting all about it, right? We have instituted an aspect of the program, which is research, and the questions reflect, of course, we collect data concerning their background, and some of the background information we have decided to collect would be questions like, is there a musical instrument, do you have someone at your home who plays a musical instrument? We want to compare data in terms of children who, in performance, children who have no sort of musical experience at home as compared to those who have an adult living at the house that have some musical experience. So we have the background. We also have questions that reflect how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your musical performance, how you feel about your social interaction within the camp as well, and other questions like, would I come back to such a camp? Do I intend to pursue a musical career? So looking at, when the data is collated, it will be very interesting to see what we come up with, you know, at the end of the program.
Now, the instruments for this program, are they donated? Do they belong to the kids? How do you source funding for it?
Before I got, before we launched into the City Angels music program, I actually worked for an NGO in Miami, and that organization is called Food for the Poor. My country of responsibility was Haiti, and I did a lot of work on the ground in Haiti, and it just struck me one day, what's this all about? What am I doing here when I can probably be doing something in Trinidad for the children? I was always part of the Music Literacy Trust, even though I worked in and out of Haiti. And I approached them because I knew that the organization Food for the Poor, what they do is that they send band instruments to Jamaica, Santo Domingo, San Salvador, different places where they do this kind of where they do work, because they saw the value of music in the lives of children. So in one of my conversations with the executive director, I said to him, maybe you don't know what I do, but here, this is what I do, and I need a set of instruments. And one day I just got a call, Jenny Lee, your instruments are on the port, just come and pick them up. So we got 40 pieces of musical instruments, brand new. And right now they're actually trying to raise funds for us so that we can get more instruments. And in a conversation that I had with them last week, they said, Jenny Lee, how do you do it? It looks as though you're going to be needing a container of instruments. And it's true, because if we have to go national, if we have to go into other areas, and it's not just about doing something for the sake, you know, it's really about reaching those children and having an effect on their lives. And who knows, if I'm going to cross my fingers that I'm going to get that container.
We have some feedback coming in from those who are watching and listening to the show. A couple of questions in there, but I just want to give you the positive reinforcement that you're getting from the audience. One person says, it's true, I've been playing pan since Form 1 and I learned discipline, teamwork, creativity, communication. Now I am a PR specialist.